I don't understand how you would even oppose this. This is information that would be helpful with any government to say, wow, so we have had this crisis after another, and can help improve the way the government works. My friend, Senator Mungatana, has also looked at only one side. Mm-hmm. He has also ignored the negative sides of performance, just the same way as this news has done the other way around. So I think it all balances out. When you are in government, you develop what you would call a blind spot, and you develop something called selective perception. You only see the things that you want to see. And when you're in opposition, you're probably, when you're outside of government, let's not say opposition, when you're outside of government, there are certain things that you see that they cannot see. And so it balances out that the people who are seeing other things have put this in a very good document here that should help the government to say, all right, we may have successes, but what are holding us back? Where have we made mistakes? What can we do about this? And each of this has information that can be helpful. Mm-hmm. Each of them, and I'm not talking only about, we cannot ignore, for example, the first one. Mm-hmm. Budget showdown and opposition to new taxes. That is what led to the crisis we had last year. And so how can you even ignore that? That's a very major crisis. It cost the government to take certain actions against their will. So you can't say, ignore that. But it informs you because there is another finance bill coming up. And if you didn't learn from the first finance bill, there's one coming up now which could repeat the story of the last finance bill. Right now, everybody's scrutinizing the current finance bill. And people are noticing things in the finance bill that will continue to be a big crisis. So you cannot ignore some of the things. I think, Mungatana, this should be helpful for you as Parliament, because the center, the epicenter of these problems, especially on the bills, is Parliament. Now, the second one, you can't say you can ignore it, because already it's a crisis. I don't know what to fight about it, but the politicians and the parties that are not happy with this will raise this matter. It's important, again, that you explain how you arrived at these choices and not these other ones. So we would expect that each of this, and if I don't think we should go, the most current one, even as we speak now, is the role with governors on county cash. How can you ignore that? It's not, you can't say it is a fault. You can't say it is an achievement. No, you can't say that. Because right now, the governors are really up in arms about their monies. And if you listen to former Prime Minister Raila, he is with the governors on this issue. Because he's saying we have already devolved. Some of these things the money should go and do the work there. Now, if you look at the headlines again, money is being taken from counties to come back to the center. So I just want to convince my friend here that much as you can list the achievements, there are obstacles and there are tough situations that will be recurring unless they are dealt with, and that would help in running of government. Okay, growing opposition to broad-based government, I don't care about that. The Kenyatta shadow, it's being battled. Why would you even battle a shadow? A string of losses in court, that's not something to worry about, because it's very clear that it is, including this particular one. But come to number 9, for example. There's a public disquiet over performances by CSS, and he has already mentioned some of those. I would like to see some of those CSS impeached the way they impeached Gachagua. Let's not just talk about dissatisfaction. If we can actually remove them, and Parliament has the powers to do that, we should. Because actually, I heard, and I've been following some of the CSS only find legitimacy if they convince their people that we are taking money from government and bringing to you. Okay? So, and they even give amounts. Say, I've brought this to you, but not to everybody else. This is just for you. I mean, that alone should disqualify a CS. But do they have the guts to even touch one of the CSs? I don't know. So I do believe that there is actually, some of them are a bit small things, but there are some key ones here that would help a government, re-examine itself.
And both of you have had an opportunity to work very closely